Liz Truss faces a showdown meeting with a close ally of U.S. President Joe Biden on Saturday amid international efforts to prevent the British government from suspending the Northern Ireland Protocol. The Foreign Secretary and International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan will hold talks with Congressman Richard Neil in London, who said he would urge UK ministers against a unilateral breach of the Brexit deal. It follows a warning from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who said the U.S. Congress would not approve a trade deal if Britain goes ahead with a plan to reject the protocol. Anne-Marie Neil, who arrived in Brussels on Friday as part of a 9-member Congress delegation, also said Mr. Johnson should honor all parts of the Brexit withdrawal agreement he signed in 2010. They haven't broken through yet. They're talking about violating it, so part of my job is trying to convince them not to violate it, the top Democrat said. The Guard. The broader event here is that the protocol has been duly negotiated by the British Prime Minister, he said politically. It's an international agreement that should be respected. It will not be the words of the UK, it will be their actions, he added. I don't think Ireland, the Good Friday Agreement and the Northern elections should be held hostage by a disagreement between Britain and the European Union. It comes as a senior U.S. State Department official said the Biden administration does not want to see unilateral action with the protocol dispute, and warned the row could undermine Western unity during the Ukraine war. Foreign Secretary Anthony Blinken's advisor, Derek Chollet, told the BBC that a major battle between the UK and the EU was the last thing Washington wanted. We want this issue to be resolved and we want the temperature to come down and no unilateral action, he said to Anne-Marie Neil, and other members of the U.S. Congress are also due to meet Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer and Shadow Trade Secretary Nick Thomas Simons on Saturday to discuss the Brexit row and the political impasse in Northern Ireland. The American delegation is also expected to travel to Belfast in the coming days to meet with Sinn Féin and DUP leaders, and visit Dublin for talks with the Irish government. Mr. Johnson and Ms. Truss have insisted they do not plan to tear up the protocol entirely, but aim to unilaterally fix it through new legislation to invalidate parts of the deal with Brussels. The Foreign Secretary said earlier this week the legislation would create a green channel for goods traveling from the UK to Northern Ireland. Only goods destined for the Republic of Ireland would be subject to customs controls. Ms. Pelosi said on Thursday she had previously warned Mr. Johnson and Ms. Truss that Congress cannot and will not support a bilateral free trade agreement with Britain if they choose to undermine the Good Friday Agreement. DUP leader Sir Geoffrey Donaldson said Ms. Pelosi's intervention in the protocol dispute was unhelpful, but Sinn Féin Vice President Michelle O'Neill warmly welcomed the senior U.S. figure's comments. Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin addresses the media after talks with Sinn Féin and the DUP. Both leaders met with Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland Michael Martin in Belfast on Friday for talks as the impasse over power-sharing arrangements in Stormont continued. Mr. Martin urged the DUP to help form the Northern Ireland executive as soon as possible, even if the Union Party wanted to have parallel discussions on the The Irish Prime Minister said it was outrageous for a parliament not to meet after a democratic election, adding, "We cannot have a situation where one political party determines that the other political parties cannot meet in a parliament." Mr. Martin also accused the UK government of going unilaterally too far on the protocol. He called for new talks between the UK and the EU, saying it would mean going into the tunnel and negotiating seriously. He told the BBC, "I spoke to Boris Johnson and I have to get straight to the point. This idea that the European Union is kind of inflexible in that regard is just not the truth. It can't be done."